Hi, I'm Annelotte Coster and I'm a musician and composer.
In already the first collaboration you had with Max in the previous documentary, somehow the music ended up replacing the voiceover. Yes. So I believe that's even a bigger challenge for you, because then the music becomes the conversation itself. How do you thought about it? Did you and Max thought about it together, or and how did you feel about it too?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It was a really interesting process, and with a fantastic crew of lovely people. So we all were like, oh, we need to make the best of it. But actually, there was a voiceover in the movie until the last day of picture log, because the plan was, sorry if I'm I'm like releasing all the secrets of Max, but there was supposed to be a voiceover. And then actually Wies, the editor, and Max changed it because they thought, shit, it's better without, because then you can get people to interpret it in their own way. And first I was a bit shocked. And then when I talked about it, and we talked about it in a like philosophical way, I really got them. And I think it's really cool that people can make that decision at the last time, because that's what a creative process is. But then we needed to think, okay, now the music will be the narrator of the movie, the emotions to put to the image, because it's also like, it's a movie about working people, and we follow all kind of working people throughout their day. And it's not like a really happy movie. So then we chose for the string quartet and the piano. But then at the end of the process, there was this part where it would be sound design. And I was like, okay, I don't need music there because the sound will take over. But then we discussed it again with the editor. And she was like, no, there should be music. So one day before the recording, I needed to write something else. And that's in the middle now. And then there was another part, and the string recording was already done. But we found a nice saxophone player who I ended up playing with in a band 5 years later. And then we're like, okay, but if we put the saxophone here, it should be somewhere else in the movie as well. So it was like a big creative explosion. But at the end, I'm really happy.
Last minute creative explosion.
Yes.
And did it make it nervous? Like suddenly you are overtaking the conversation part of it, because it puts more layers in the music, also more demands on it.
That's true. But I have to say that the demos and stuff were already there. Max was really happy with it. So I also felt confident by taking up this new role with the music. And of course, again, like I said, we had a really close collaboration, and that makes it a total difference, because then you think, okay, we're gonna make it work, and I trust you, and I trust the editor, and yeah, we wanted to make the best version of it. Yeah.
Can we see a bit too?
Yes.
The music replace the voice over, right? So can you show us like a part that the music has kind of more the dramatic effect on it, or it creates kind of a storytelling?
So this is, for example, the end of the movie. Let me check. So the saxophone is another saxophone player, Maarten Hogehuis. So this melody is like the narrator.
There was any creative choice that you made to have this dialogue open in the music?
What do you mean?
If there was something creatively that you used to make it more conversation driven, or
there because of the fact that the music needed to become the narrator, we chose to write like a strong lead. And most of the time in film music, when you write underscore, you need to be a bit behind the dialogue, small melody. So it was a different kind of process. For example, in the Mama Weet Het Zeker documentary, the music had a different function. There wasn't really a lead, and here it's almost like a song. Let me check if there's a good part, because this is the end of the working day. Let me find it. Wait. So here's the piano is the lead, and then the string players come together. Actually it was nice because we wanted to make it smaller and smaller, because the film ends with a tiny baby. So 4 players are playing, and then we make it smaller and smaller, and then only the cello stays, and then it goes into this little music box. And that was also because we were talking, what should the music do? Should be intimate. Only cello.
Was there any challenge that you encounter that you weren't expecting making these documentaries?
The last one or the first one? Like
both, just to make it more difficult.
There are always things you don't expect, but not like in a bad way, because we were like on the phone all the time. So it's also a conversation. It's not like they say, oh, by the way, something has changed and you need to fix it, bye. So no, we talk about it.
Looking back to these 2 projects, what are the things that you are most proud of?
Like the Als je later groot bent, the first one we did together. In the process, everybody was a bit like, okay, is this something good we're doing, or is it like we didn't know it in the process, because there were a lot of changes. And then actually when we were at the festival, because this was our graduation film, it got a really good reception, and people either hated it or loved it. And I think that's a good thing, because you made choices and made bold choices. And there was such a big relief. Okay, we did something. We did something, and some people hate it and some people love it, but it does something. And of course, I was really happy because I could record with string quartet, because you don't always get that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Because of course, there's a lot of times there's not a budget for it. So for me, that was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
And it was a good experience?
Really good experience.
Did you repeat it later?
This experience? Yes, I've had it with other projects as well. And when I'm like recording strings for another thing, I think back about the first time where I did it with this project. It happened, but it doesn't happen with every project, of course. But sometimes you're like, okay, this is like special. And then you feel like, this is why I do it. That I had it with the director who put my first thing. I had the same thing. I was like, whoa, this is why I do it. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, there is more to watch.